Hi, first grade. Right now, we are talking all about nautical things. We're talking about the ocean, the sea. We just finished our seascape, and currently we are looking at the world famous ship, the Titanic. Okay, I want to call on three people. What can you tell us about the Titanic? Raise your hand. Okay, I hope I got some great responses. So, hopefully someone told us that the Titanic was a passenger ship. So it was kind of like a hotel on a boat, and it was traveling all the way across the Atlantic Ocean, and it hit an iceberg. People thought that it was unsinkable, but it turns out they were wrong because the iceberg hit it, it started to sink, the bow went down first, and then the stern rose into the air, and then it split in half because of all that weight, and now it's at the bottom of the ocean. Being on the Titanic might have been a very scary tragedy. Hi, first grade. I wanted to tell you where you can find some books on Titanic. So if you look over here in this section, look for the 900s. Down here you can find some really cool Titanic books. If you're also interested in shipwrecks, there's also some books that might include the Titanic. So there's this one, Mysteries of the Past Shipwrecks. And then right on the front, you guessed it, is the Titanic. So if you wanted to learn more about some other shipwrecks, you could find that too. Here's one of my favorites. It's called The Titanic, an interactive history adventure. What's cool about it is it has a lot of really great facts, but also some amazing pictures where you can see inside of the ship and learn a little bit more about this historical event. If you're more interested in facts about how they find the Titanic and what they found in the shipwreck, you might want to try this book. It's called Nightmare on the Titanic, and there's some really great images of what it looked like when they found the Titanic, but also explains some of the different things that we've talked about in class, and then a little bit more. Today, we will be doing a very fun project with clay. However, at this point, I expect you to be on your best behavior, showing me that you can follow expectations. If you cannot show me that you can follow expectations, you will not be doing this project. This project will be canceled for you. If everyone can follow expectations, I should be able to put your clay into a giant oven called a kiln. This is what it looks like. We have one at Christie. And the kiln goes up to 2,000 degrees, which is very, very, very hot, but it will make your clay turn into a very much harder material. This is your first and final warning. You must follow my expectations step by step, or I may decide that you are not ready for this project and you'll have to wait until second grade to do clay again, which will be no fun. If I am playing the video or I am talking, your voice should be off. However, today, the rule for today is that whenever there's independent time, you must be whispering. If you are too loud and I can hear exactly who's talking across the room, I will have to take away your clay. Please do not make me do that. So, in a moment, I will pass out a needle. You should have a tray that looks like this. There should be a piece of newspaper on it. Do not remove the newspaper. If you remove the newspaper, your clay project will stick to the table and you will not be getting it back. So, I'm gonna pass out a needle. The needle is not for poking the tray. It is not for poking your neighbor, and it is not for poking yourself. It is to remain on the tray when you are not using it. Today, I will be giving you some clay. I give everyone the same amount, just like this. What you are going to do is you are going to roll it with your hands, kind of like this. Now, I'm not making it into a ball. I'm making it more like a very small little hot dog. I want it thick. I'm gonna pass out the clay. Show me that you're ready by giving me fancy fingers. And then once you get the clay, make it into a shape that looks something like this, and then give me a thumbs up. Okay, thank you so much. Now what you're gonna do, and you might have to stand up for this, we're going to quietly push it down. We want a big, long rectangle because we're going to make our ships out of clay. So we're going to press, press, press. Now I'm not pressing it until it's as thin as paper. So watch me first. I'm just giving it some presses until it really won't press anymore. So just like this. Go ahead and press yours into basically a long, really oblong, ovally rectangle. And then give me a thumbs up. Okay, good job. Now what we're gonna do is we are going to draw our ship onto this clay. You have to use the pencil. Your hands are gonna get dirty. Don't worry, I have wet wipes at the end of class. You are going to take this needle like a pencil. Remember, draw a diagonal line towards you. And then you can stop at the bottom. You can draw a line over here. Remember, this is gonna be the bow. The stern is not the same. You might wanna do kind of a C, like this. That way you have room for your rudder. Then you're gonna draw the deck. So what I usually do is I draw a line across, and then I'll draw a little box on top, like this. And now I have to do some what on top? I hope you said smokestacks. So I'll go ahead and draw my smokestacks just like this. So I'm just gonna put 2. Could you do more than 2? Absolutely. Now we have our ship drawn into the clay. It's time to cut out the pieces we don't need. So I'm gonna go over those lines one more time, but this time I'm gonna put the needle all the way through. I'm gonna go back over those lines, and this will slice off the parts I don't need. So like for instance, this part will now come off. I don't need this part in between my smokestacks. So I will take it and I will do this one more time. It is super important, guys, when you're taking the clay off, do not put anything back on. So let's say I wanna do like some windows. Can I just do that? No, you cannot do that. If you put stuff on here like that, if you try to glue it, just right like doing that, it won't work. It will fall off. I 100% promise you it will not work. Now, if you want to add details, you can. I'm gonna use the back of this needle and draw windows. Maybe you can do little portholes. You could draw more lines and make it look a little bit more realistic. You could do your AAB pattern. Maybe I have 3 dot windows and then 1 long window, and then there'll be a pattern. It's totally up to you. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the rest of this ship out, and then I'll let you have a turn. I will pick up your extra clay in a moment. Thumbs up once you have everything that you don't want cut out. Great job. Now, this is your final warning. You cannot, with this kind of clay, add anything to it. Do not even try putting on little windows or adding another funnel or smokestack without just cutting it out. You can always smush this all together and start over if you need to, but do not add anything to it. The only thing we can do is make little holes, add patterns and lines, but we cannot add anything to the clay. It won't stick. It will just fall off when this goes into the oven. I will give the class 5 minutes to go ahead and add decorations. If you finish early, you're just gonna have to be patient and wait for the next step. One thing you can do is you can go back and make this a little neater. Take a look at these little tiny piles of clay that accidentally are showing up. If you see those, just take your finger and kind of wipe them away. Make it look pretty. You can totally smooth this out, guys, if you want to. Maybe you don't like this look. You can smooth it out with your finger. The clay is still wet. After 5 minutes, we will move on to the next step. You must complete your decorating in 5 minutes. I will start now. Okay, so we should be finished with decorating our ship. You must do this step with me. You're going to turn it over to the other side gently. You're going to write your name. You'll need to write small. I'm going to write Mr. Boatfield. And yes, your hands are going to get dirty. Mr. Boatfield. And then I'm going to write not my class code today. I just want you to write one number. That number is the number of your table. So what table would I be at today? I hope you said table 12. So I'm going to write Mr. Boatfield and then a 12 somewhere on it. It doesn't matter where. Now, once you've done that, give me a thumbs up. Thank you.